Hello, everyone. My name is Sam Haest, the Client Experience Manager here at Kirkham Tech, and today I have Tom Kirkham, our CEO, with me, and we're going to answer a few questions about co-managed IT and cybersecurity services. So the first question we have today, Tom, is can you elaborate on how our co-managed cybersecurity and IT services are unique?
That's a great question, and I love talking about it. But first, welcome to the shorts, our video shorts, and that's what this is: 3, 4, 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. If I get on a tangent, it might be 20, but it's just bits and pieces of the richness of our service, the reasons, the hows, the whys, the whats of how we do things. And one of those is when we provide co-managed IT services or even all-in services for depends on the client and what they need and to best fulfill their objectives. We have a unique approach, regardless of whether it's co-managed or not. So when we speak of co-managed services, there is usually someone that is in charge of IT, a director, a manager, chief information officer. Rarely is it a security officer, it's usually IT, but they have gaps in whether it's in help desk. Maybe they don't want to staff up for and hire cybersecurity experts because that is a unique skill. Good IT people know that. And if they haven't received training and they stay on top of threat intelligence and all of this, they're going to know they need to probably outsource it. Most businesses, especially more and more, most businesses are at least outsourcing cybersecurity. But our uniqueness is by way of what we refer to as the three pillars. Pillar number one is cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is job one for our clients. It's job one for us. We have requirements for, in order to be a client, that are non-negotiable, they're not optional, and our clients have to make sure they're installed and they've got the related services with them. Second pillar, IT infrastructure. And the objectives with IT infrastructure is one of them is making sure we're maximizing the return on investment to the client, to the company, making sure we're hitting that P&L positively in the most efficient, productive way. It doesn't mean being cheap about it, doesn't mean overspending on it. It's finding that sweet spot. Third pillar is governance. This is something that we've been a thought leader on for quite some time. And it's nothing fancy. You know, I know many of you are thinking in terms of government, but it's really not. Governance is policies, procedures, company objectives, regulations, compliance. It's a very broad umbrella. And the simple truth of the matter is, if you don't properly apply governance, you're not the IT infrastructure and your cybersecurity defense will not be correct. It will not be adequate. You will not maximize your return on investment in your IT expenditures. And many, many other things can go wrong, such as a cyber attack. You know, just some little something about governance as it applies to IT infrastructure is the age of the assets, especially desktops and servers. You know, some people have a tendency to run a server that may have cost $30,000 or $40,000. They run it as long as they can to maximize their ROI. The problem with that is we know what that lifespan of that product is, and we don't want our clients to run it until there's a catastrophic server loss. We want to be proactive about replacing equipment before it crashes or it's useless or whatever that may be. We want to stay ahead of that curve. That's one little way that we maximize return on investment. Another part of governance is budgeting and benchmarking. Okay. So your responsibility as a prospect, whether you're an IT guy, maybe you go to the finance guy, maybe you're the president or the owner, it doesn't really matter. You have a budget, right? You have a budget that this is how much, whatever that metric may be. Now, I can tell you what the benchmarks are for a professional service company. What do I mean by that? Law firms, accounting firms, engineering firms, to a lesser degree, manufacturing firms, if you just think about the people that actually use the computers. What the statistics tell us is between 6 to 14% of their gross revenue for companies, hundreds and hundreds of companies, this is independent research, that metric is spent on IT, cybersecurity, and it's everything: servers, desktops, wiring, switches, routers, all the security tools, policies, and procedures. It should be 10% of your gross revenue, or $5,700 per year per person. And that's regardless of the company size. So that's a benchmark we want to look at. We want our clients to be hitting, we want to start looking at it from that perspective. So what that means is if you're only spending $1,500 per person per year on all of those things, don't pat yourself on the back, because you probably have gaps and you're not maximizing your return on investment and you're not adequately protected from hackers. So that's what we start looking for, and uncovering those gaps and other gaps that aren't just buying things, right? Buying new equipment or buying security defensive tools and all of this stuff. Another thing that we bring is our incredible investment in infrastructure management tools. You know, most small to medium sized businesses are not going to invest nearly as much money as we do, because we've got thousands of endpoints that we have to protect, monitor, manage proactively, and just to make sure systems don't go down, hackers don't get through, and many, many other things. It's really expensive to do it right. And so that's what we bring to our clients as well. So, you know, if there's 2 or 3 or 4 tools, they cost 50 or 60,000 or $100,000 a year or more. All of ours together cost a whole lot more than that. But you know, maybe the budget's not there for that. So by us co-managing some of that, if the client needs a ticketing system, they can use ours. We bring that to the table. They may need a SOC, a security operations center, a NOC, a network operations center, that proactively not only looks for problems before they become a big problem, but just monitors for out of drive space and maybe a drive failure in a server. And it doesn't matter if it's on premises or in the cloud, still have the same issues. It's the only difference between cloud and on-prem is the location of the equipment. Okay. Now there's more to it than that, but in its simplest terms, that they're really the same thing. Don't think you're more secure because you're in the cloud. That is a fallacy. And be happy to talk to you at a later, some other time. That's a topic for a different time, a different place. I think there's probably videos of me talking about that.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, that's about all the time we have today, actually. So I want to thank everyone for joining today. Remember, you can check out our website for more information, and we can offer you a free security and risk assessment if you're interested for your business.
Thanks, everybody.